Hello there. My name is Emily Gabriellini, and I am applying for a paralegal position at the Delaware Department of Justice. During this interview process, I was asked many questions, most notably the following three. 1. Discuss your educational background. Over the past few years, I have acquired an Associate of Applied Science in Paralegal Studies at Delaware Technical Community College. I am aware of your minimum education requirements for this position and pursued this degree with them exclusively in mind. Likewise, Delaware Tech's paralegal program is ABA approved and meets the minimum criteria of the requirements set forth by this company. I also plan to pursue a bachelor's degree in legal studies part-time and at night now that I am finished, and eventually go to Widener University Delaware Law School, both of which are also in accordance with your education preferences for this position, as well as your preferences for jobs higher up on the career ladder. 2. What are your career goals? As stated on my resume, I have worked as an administrative specialist, which, in the case of my former unit, meant I was already acting as a second paralegal or legal assistant to them, without the title. This is mostly because I had previous paralegal experience from my time working in New York City. It was my short-term goal after deciding in my first year of college that I did not want to pursue a degree in teaching to work as a paralegal. This was in part because I come from a long line of paralegals, my grandmother being still to this day a top legal secretary in a top New York City law firm, my mother working for 19 years as a paralegal before switching to education, and my aunt working for 5 years as a paralegal before switching to education as well. I also view this as a stepping stone toward my ultimate goal to becoming an attorney, which is, and has been for a long time, my long-term goal. Specifically, I would like to one day become a Deputy Attorney General here at the Delaware Department of Justice, as I know about 75% of former Delaware Department of Justice employees at lower levels do so once obtaining their Juris Doctor, a lot of which coming from Widener. Though this is more typical of law clerks and interns, however, I feel that my experience at all levels within a unit provides me with a diverse experience. I also consider it a bit of my dream goal to become the Attorney General of Delaware someday, and I am sure I can use the experience I just mentioned towards that as well. 3. What do you like the most and least about working in this industry? What I like the most about working in the legal industry is the ability to help people using the existing system that is in place. Specifically, working for the government, I also enjoy the legislative aspect of it. It is definitely interesting to view policy before it is introduced, code before it is amended, or new administrative regulations. I love to be part of making change, no matter at what level I am actually doing so. As for what I don't like, which is a little bit harder for me to admit, I am not the biggest fan of the correctional and judicial systems in this country. And unfortunately, whether working in civil or criminal law, or on the prosecution's or defendant's side, you're exposed to them while working in the legal industry. It is not that I am not in support of them, nor is it that I feel they should not exist. I just feel that they are imperfect as they are, and in some aspects even corrupt. It was particularly difficult for me to adjust when I first started working for the state, as I was forced to view things from the other side, as I had primarily worked in the private sector prior to working at the Delaware DOJ. I feel that this has given me an understanding of both sides of the system, however, that I have formed a unique perspective where I have the ability to view things in a bilateral way. Thank you for listening to my questions.